Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Tuesday morning. Got a good show lined up, and we'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. The biggest thing on the weather to me really is the water temperature. We always do the air temperature first. We want to talk a second about the water temp. It was 77 now for 3.5 weeks. It just stayed at 77, but today it's reading a 75. So, you know, that little bit of cool air, a little bit of the sun, it was dropping and rising a little bit, that little bit of an angle, it just dropped down slowly. So this is a little bit of a good move toward getting cooler water at 75 degrees. Air temperature high today is going to be 83 and low tonight 68, so it's going to be another beautiful day. We may get a little bit of rain tomorrow. I'm looking at a long-range forecast. We may just get a little bit of rain, but it's not going to be here too long. The rest of the week looks like it's going to be really good. Our river readings, taking a look at the Apalachicola, Bluntstown, it is level. It's steadied out at 4.6, and looks like it's going to stay there a little while. Looking good right there. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, not a whole lot of action there. Just river's real steady right now. It's at a 3.2, and going on in the middle of the week, it's going to be around 3 foot. And again, it's going to really be some nice times to be fishing on the river. October and early November is excellent river fishing up in those feeder creeks and all, especially when the river's like this. Not a lot of motion going on, so if you get a chance to go do some freshwater fishing, it'd certainly be a good week to do it. Let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Have good tides today, really strong tides. We're looking at a low tide at 11:06 this morning, and a high tide at 12:43 after midnight. We just have that, right in the middle of the day. It's an ideal day, really, whichever tide you like to fish. It's going to be, it's going to be dropping out all the way down to about noontime, and then start coming in. So it'll be a strong tide. We've got about a 1.8 foot movement in that. All right. Marine forecast be south-southeast at about 9 to 10 miles per hour, variable there. All right, we'll take our break and be right back. All right, welcome back. I want to say a very happy birthday to my grandson, Mason Woodrick. Today he is 10 years old, so I hope you have a wonderful day. Mason, I love you, and I tell you what, Mason really loves to fish. He spent the night with us the other night, and he wants me to wake him up at daybreak, because sometimes it's hard to wake him up because he's sleeping so sound. But he's just a wonderful little grandson, and we're going to have a little cookout tonight, and also happy birthday, Mason. Now, let's look at some pictures. We got a lot of pictures to show. Looking at for you bass fishermen, drop you a cup of coffee now. This is Rachel Hallman Rourke. She's been on the show before, one of my former students, and she's a biologist. So you can look at the pond and tell it's a controlled area. But this is what 11 pound 3-ounce bass looks like. She just tagged it, and they're doing some studies on it and released it. It's up in South Georgia. In fact, she had 2. How about 11 pound and 8 pound? Do you think that would win a tournament right there? All right. Move along now. Marion Smith, my good buddy Marion, is an excellent flounder fisherman, and you can see year after year I show pictures of Marion with some nice flounder. Folks, the flounder are biting. Good job, Marion, in the driveway over there to the house at Kings Point over there. How about Brandon Davis? Had him on before. He's one of my students a month 2 years ago. He's still strong fishing. Good job, nice grouper there. Squirrels, Brad Tilghman's son of Ace Hunt Club. I thought it's a good name for a hunt club out there. Good job there, Ace shot. Now listen, Blue Water's having a big gun sale going on right now. Look at those guns on the rack. See the red tags on them? They're really selling those guns at a really reduced rate. It's an excellent time to buy a gun. Go down to Blue Water and check it out. It's well worth the drive on the money you're going to save on those guns. Blue Water Outriggers. All right, this is Perry Nelson's picture taken tonight, but Perry had a good weekend. He caught some redfish and flounder. Good job, Perry. Manatees, people were wondering what happened to manatees. There were some of them up here. I saw some myself, and they were up in North Bay. But right now, they're getting ready to go winter. This is down at Crystal River. And I put this picture in here because we've been down there before with kids and all. In the wintertime, you can make excellent little diving trips down the Crystal River. You can't touch these manatees and all, but they're all grouped up like this. Fascinating to watch them, but that water, that spring temperature stays the same, and I think they're all left out of here. I haven't seen any in a while. Here's a picture sent to us by Alan Chase, and I'm going to read what it said because it's really, it says camo, $70, bow and arrow, $500, bow hunting with daughter, priceless. And that's well said, Alan. So glad y'all had a chance to go this past weekend. All right, some more flounder talking about, this is Barry Pate. He wade fishing and caught these flounder right here. All right, going on down. This is a nice redfish, Victor Hathcote over there. Some more flounder. Some more Perry Nelson caught those. How about some sheephead? Sheephead bite is really good. Ricky Lee on some nice sheephead. In fact, okay, here's a buck right here. Macy Tillman got this nice buck. Good job, Macy Tillman. Graduated last year. Camping, we just finished up a big camping unit in Outdoor Ed, and these girls went camping over down there at Perry Bog End. They sent me a picture of their tent they set up by themselves. Camping is a lot of fun this time of year if you haven't had a chance to do it. And last picture here is some sheephead, or next to last, Steve Stopka and Ricky Ramey went gigging for these sheephead up there in North Bay. Good job, boys. And I do want to mention this. This is coming up on November the 10th. This is a Jeep Sullivan's Salute to Veterans, Salute to Our Heroes. Jeep is very active in outdoors. You get a chance to meet and greet our veterans. This is the 10th. It's a Monday before Veterans Day. Here's stories and testimonies. Listen, they're having a fundraising banquet up there at Chipley. It's going to be at 6:30. It's going to be $15 a person or $25 for two, and you need to RSVP and let them know up there. I'll get you the number later, but I'll go and announce it now so you can go and put it on the calendar. I'm certainly going up there. If the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise, we're going to be up there and get to see some of those veterans. Okay. So now let's go back to that's all the picture. I do want to give an outdoor tip. I was on the dock. Like I said, I had made some fishing Saturday morning. We were just piddling around, but we'd caught some chofas or pinfish, and I hook them in various ways, and I got to thinking maybe we hadn't really gone over different ways you can hook live bait. So I have some pictures, and I hook mine. It's according to where I'm at, and I explain to you. Let me go ahead and show you when you're hooking live bait. The big thing, you want to keep them alive. You want them to swim around, and there are several ways to do it. Now, this is a picture of one on a pilchard, but this is one way to do it. Just hook them through the nostrils, right through the holes right up there. And the advantage of this, it's less restriction. They have a lot of natural action, and this is ideal if you want them to get up on the surface. A lot of times they'll swim up toward the surface and splash around on the surface. So really good for light tackle too. All right, the second way to do it, right there see the dorsal fin, hook them right in front of the dorsal fin. Now this time, they're going to sort of swim head down. They're going to sort of get frantic-y, and it'll have some vibration in the water. And if you're slow trolling, we've done this before when we're king fishing, and just slow troll and let them act like this. And what they're trying to do is just keep diving down. All right, now another way is right through the throat. I don't do this one very often, but the advantage of this is they sort of stay in one area, and they sort of go to the mid. They really won't go to the surface. They really won't dive deep. They're sort of like a mid-level fish, and a lot of times you have those snapper at mid-level. So, but my favorite place where I like to fish them. This is when you're in a stationary position, back here in the back end, back here by the anal fin. They'll swim away from you, and when I'm fishing off my dock, I want them to swim away from the dock, and sure enough, they'll do it. They just start swimming away. I like this, they can breathe normal, and you can pull back on it. You can pull back, and you hook them back there. You can pull back on them, then they'll swim away, and then pull back on them, then they'll struggle. So it gives an idea of a struggling fish. So that's your tackle tip of the day. You just experiment around, and according to what kind of live bait you have and how fresh it is. But the biggest thing, you want to keep them alive, and you want them to do a certain thing. If you want them to dive deep, you hook them one way. If you're stationary, like in a dock or fishing off a seawall, you want to sort of go in out away from the wall. So that's just some way, and like I say, I like that last one I showed you right there. All right, we're going to take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's go from fishing tips to look at a little bit of our heritage over here in St. Andrew. Just recently, Mr. A.D. Richburg passed away, and I got to thinking about that, and although he wasn't a fisherman, it's odd that I put him in the book because he was so representative of so many people of the early settlers and all his family. And Mr. Richburg, we got to know him. I've known him a long time, but when I was doing the book, I did a story and put a picture of him. I'm going to give you a little bit of A.D. Richburg's history. Now, it goes way back to early. I got several pictures pertaining to his history. His mother was the owner of Maddie's Tavern, right there, the second lady from the left. And this is an old picture of St. Andrew. You see how torn the old picture was? But what I showed in this picture in the book was how the families built their own boats. The families actually built this boat, and what was important about it, they did sell some fish out of it, but that's how they subsided. They actually had their own fishing trips and all, and passenger boats and all, so they just built their own. So he was a product of that generation and all, and he was born in 1923, and what was fascinating about him was that he represented the people that are from St. Andrew who just fished all the time. But his mother, Maddie, had Maddie's Tavern, and it's famous. And I was looking at Richard Hawley's book last night, The Great St. Andrews, and it's a great book itself. And talked about it was home of the famous hush puppies. And Clark Gable, trained in World War II out of Tyndall Field. Clark Gable, of course, you know the story. He was here, and he went there, and that was his favorite spot in the whole area was to go to Maddie's Tavern. And I ran into so many people when I was doing the book that I actually got to talk to Clark Gable, and I talked about what a gentleman he was, how much they enjoyed getting to know him. But he loved going to Maddie's Tavern, and A.D. Richburg was grown up in that environment, and the big thing that his sister later on stayed in the restaurant business. His sister, Daisy Lee, opened up Daisy Lee's restaurant, which was famous also, and served a lot of fishermen, and they bought their local fish came from off the boats right there in St. Andrew, and that was right there on West Beach Drive. So Mr. Richburg, and his story, he went to graduated Bay High School in 1942, captain of the football team, went to University of Alabama. Actually said he made All-American. News Herald said he made All-American here at Bay High in football. So he went to University of Alabama, stayed one semester in 1942, and like so many other young men of his generation, dropped out of school. I won't say dropped out, just left school so he could enlist. And that was all over the United States. It was if you read World War II history, those guys were just leaving college and going enlisting. And he got stationed over at Camp Blanding, and his first time home on leave, he married his high school sweetheart, Miss Mildred, in 1942. Then he was shipped off to war, and he was in on he landed at Utah Beach. It was part of Patton's Third Army, and he got to fight in the Battle of the Bulge, which what a significant battle that was. And he was actually wounded in the Battle of the Bulge and got shipped back home and all. But I had a great story. Actually, he didn't go back in the fishing field, but he went into education and was a principal at Highland Park Elementary School for a long time. But the picture I put in the book, and why I put it in there, this is right after the war. And we talked about everybody's coming home from the war and how happy everybody was and all. And I put this picture in the book because they told me the story. They had been camping that weekend. They were over at St. Andrews State Park, actually before it was a state park. And that's Mr. Richburg on the far right. And his wife is taking a picture. And the thing about it, if she'd known, I was laughing, if she'd known how to do a selfie, they could have put all four of them in it. But they'd gone camping, two young married couples, and look at the flounder they got, and got right close to the kiddie pool area, because the jetties were there too. So our condolences to the Richburg family. They actually, he taught at West Bay Elementary. I've got other notes on him. Graveside services will be this Thursday at 2 p.m. at Greenwood Cemetery. They actually named the little gymnasium at outdoor gym area at Highland Park Elementary after him. So anyway, I just wanted to mention him. That's a rich part of our heritage, and a fine family. And his sister, his cousin, Lillian Masker Welch, was valuable information to me in the book and all. So, all right, now let's go back from our heritage. Let's jump forward to See this thing right here? This is a hand warmer. It's called Click It Hot. Okay, Click It Hot. It's a little thing, and this is a hand warmer. I'm gonna see if it works on air. It's got a little thing that looks like a dime in it, and what you do, okay, you click it. Okay, one. All right, now can you see? Look at it. Look at it changing. Can you see it changing from clear? Okay, there's a chemical reaction going on right in here. Now it's all clouded. Now, folks, that is going from cool. That's hot right now. That is really, really warm right now, and it's going to. This is a great hand warmer. I know. I got tickled Saturday morning. It was like 50-something degrees, and some people are already talking in daylight. They were cold, so you imagine how important this is. There's 2 of these come in a package, and what's good? It's called Click It Hot. And hand warmers have been around since World War II, but this is really a good idea because you can reuse these. This is it. See the clear, and it's cloudy here. You may not see that well on the screen, but I can see it good here. And that means it's going to stay warm from anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, according to where you are and how much you use it and all. But that's really warm right now. This is not activated. All I do is just click on this little piece of metal here. And now to reuse it, you put it in boiling water and boil it for 10 minutes, and then it's going to be brand new again. And you use it over and over and over again. And they come in different sizes. They have some go around your waist and some around on your neck and all different sizes. But it's called Click It Hot. And I have a video. We talked to the guy. Whitney and I talked to the guy. He demonstrated it to us. But I wish you could feel how warm it is. And I'm going to use these from now on because, like I say, you can reuse them, buy them one time and reuse them. And also use them in a cold pack. You can put them in the freezer and let it freeze, and just put it on as a cold pack around your neck or whatever. So let's watch this little short video, not very long at all, and we'll talk to the guy who actually owns the company, the Click It Hot. So Jeff, let's roll this video.
This one, see? And it's concave. So now you've got some friction, and this is brand new, so I'm going to wipe the wax off. So what you've got is an exothermal chemical reaction that heats up the liquid to crystals, which is what, let's just do this one because those I want to show. And what you're doing is you're turning the liquid to crystal. The crystals heat, they freeze, and they melt. So you can put these
all in a matter of
seconds. Now you can't click it cold, but you can put this in the freezer, or you can put the liquid one in the freezer. This is so cold that you have to wrap it in a towel, otherwise you get freezer burn, right? It doesn't melt, it's crystals. So you would lose the heat or the cold by oozing away, just going away. 8th grade, if you had, and I gave you some of these, take them as a science project into your class.
Well, I'm homeschooled, so.
Oh,
But she still can take it to her school.
Yeah.
Well, what I tell other kids is, you would on that day be smarter than the teacher. You'd probably get an A for the class. They have no idea how this works.
Yeah,
You're right.
They have no idea.
Very good.
that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Hope you enjoyed that little video. Always trying to give you tips on how to be a more comfortable outdoorsman, and a little bit information there goes a long way. It's called a Click It Hot right there. It's close to Click It Hot, and like I say, 2 of these come in the bag. I really liked them. I think we're going to use them now on. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast today, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. Our time this morning from 4:15 to 6:15. So we're in there right now, 4:15 to 6:15. And this evening, 4:43 to 6:43. You got that strong. What it is, you got that low tide starting to come in. You got a tide changing. You got it going high tide this afternoon. So, all right. So let me add a name to the pickle jar. This is Walt Crow. Walt sent his name in, and like I say, send your name in anytime. And it'll be good for the drawing. And speaking of drawing now, one day this week, I hadn't decided what day, we'll be giving away some stuff here. This is a Quail Forever and and Pheasants Forever and Quail Unlimited. And there's all kind of stuff in here. I've showed you the other day. Got a Ducks Unlimited cap. Look at this, a walk through nature. This is Jeff Peck's video on just some great scenes around the Florida Panhandle. This is a wonderful DVD, all kind of great things in there. And of course some bait, Panhandle Outdoors, decals, more bait and all. So anyway, going to have a drawing here. And also a nice t-shirt with a School of Dolphin on it, Mahi right here, okay? So all kinds of things. So we'll draw one day for that this week. Tomorrow, we're going to have Captain Ken Paramore on the show. But also want to remind you, coming up this weekend is the Florida Seafood Festival. A lot of folks will be going down there. I'll have a booth there, and I'll be there with some books, and like I say, I'll be autographing books to you personally, or even if you have a book, just stop by. I'm going to have some decals to give away. We'll probably have a little bit of candy since it'll be around Halloween, and just stop by and visit. I love talking to our viewers and all, and it's important that that we get out and get to see the people like that. I've been to Florida Seafood Festival quite a bit. I used to go way back in the 70s, and I always remember eating oysters down there. Every time I go down there, I eat some oysters. They're just really good. They're fresh and all. So now I want to talk a minute about the seasons. Both seasons all started, and it's important that let's see if we get them all on here now. That you check the season, make sure you know what's. We're going to talk about it more tomorrow with Ken Paramore, but let's look at some of them right now just so we get a head start on it, and want to spend a lot of time on them tomorrow. The big thing, October 25th through November 26th is antlerless deer by bow only. I just got that written down for you, by bow only, and it's okay. The next one I want you to look at, this is in our zone now, Zone D. December 1 through 5th is antler deer only by crossbow or bow. All right. Now, December the 6th through 12th, and February 23rd to March the 1st is antler deer only by muzzleloader. That's the muzzleloader season we talk about. Used to be called primitive weapons. Now that in Unit 2, which is north of I-10, they'll also be taken then too. So anyway, I've got them on here, and we're going to go with Ken Paramore tomorrow and know more about it. Make sure when you go, when you get ready to go, that you always check your license. Make sure. I've heard somebody tell me the other day their license had expired. They forgot to renew them. It's so easy to do now. All you got to do is just go online and do it. You can do it from your cell phone. You can do it from from your iPad or whatever. Just go ahead and double check and make sure. Okay, I got to start wrapping things up. It's been a great having you on today. As always, I want to thank God for these beautiful sunsets and these hungry fish, and thank you for watching Panhandle Outdoors. And do something good, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.